Hello. New name I see you notice. It's the Pacheco Show now, damn it. Talking shit with Nick. It is no longer just because it's a lot easier for companies and, other people is to say yes to my show because it's already kid-friendly, the Pacheco Show. It's, straight to the point. But today we have a very awesome episode. We got Kaku. He's a DJ. He has a residency in Taiwan, and he's just an amazing person. He's also the co-founder of Sound. It's a music NFT. It's combined high fidelity and audio with art, technology, and fashion. It's just an awesome NFT. I'm in it, so I'm a little biased, but it's just they're doing great things, and I'm really happy for you guys to watch this episode. And if you haven't, also make sure to follow my other podcasts that I'm involved with. We got Surface Wave Podcast, and we have Speculation Alley. So check those out too. All right, let's get on to the episode. Hope you guys enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's been a while, but I am back with another episode. And today it's very special because we got Kaku in the building.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Dude, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. Just I don't know if you guys have been following my socials, but just started to tour again finally. So it's been honestly just the past 6 weeks has been just nuts. Just like every week with shows, and also while I was on tour, Son finally minted and dropped, right? So it's been very busy. Yeah, just behind the scenes, besides the shows, it's been real busy. Yeah.
What? I just your life sometimes I bet moves at 100 miles per hour. I feel like can you run me through a day of Kaku?
A day of Kaku. Well, normally I do have to wake up early because I'm working with Son in half the teams in the States, so we still have to run the meetings during the mornings or really late nights. So I'm either a day, I guess, usually wake up around 7 or 8, get on a team call and have some coffee, I guess, and then just do some emails, just really regular stuff. Then it's kind of hard because every single day is different for me, and then sometimes I have to go into the studio, work on music. Sometimes I work on music at home. And also I open up a day club, kind of like a venue here. So during the night I have to go operate that. So yeah, it's just a lot of stuff, man. It's just every day is different, but normally it's meetings and then just meetings throughout the day, emails. And nighttime is more music oriented stuff, and then on the weekend I tour. So it's just every day. It's really hard to say.
Is there a certain number of sleep you try to aim for every day?
Bro, I already had dude, I'm telling you, man. I barely had enough sleep before being a producer and a DJ. Okay. I have less sleep now. Just depends on the days. So normally my rest day, I guess, would be a Monday. Because Monday is Sunday in the States. Okay. So that's that's usually the day I'm off, right? But then other than that, I kind of sleep in between. So it's if I don't get a good night's sleep, which is I average maybe 3-4 hours a day. Then, if I really need to crash, I just crash in between meetings or something if I can, Yeah.
Are you one of those people that could just crash anywhere, you could sleep anywhere, or do you need a nice spot?
Believe it or not, I actually I actually have terrible sleep, so I do have to kind of be at home, when I'm on the road, bro, I don't sleep well. Just people think I can't imagine. People always think it's a super glamorous life, but it's really not like that for us DJs that are still out there grinding, that's the last thing we do because we got when I tour, I meet up with people I haven't met, especially because of COVID. I haven't been able to meet them for so long, so I want to catch up with them or whatever. So the last tour I went in Myanmar, there's a lot of homies that I haven't met in a minute. So it was good to catch up with them, So I was like, fuck it, I'll just sleep when I get home.
Well, what do you do?
On the plane. I sleep on the plane.
Do you feel like you sleep better on the bus or on the plane?
I mean, on the bus. I mean, on the plane. Yeah, I usually work on music too. You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
Yeah, I try to nap on the way to the airport. Or or on the way back or some shit. So
what's your go-to snack on road trips and all during tour?
That's a good fucking question. I'm not really much of a snacker when I'm on the road, bro. Like, cause what I like to do is I like to come home and just like shut off everything, which
Hmm.
honestly speaking never happens. But if I do, I just like, yeah, that's when I really like, I guess, snack. But when I'm on the road, bro, like I just eat whatever is quick. I don't really have like much of a preference.
Yeah.
But I am more of like a dinner lunch guy. I'm not really like a snacker. So I
Okay.
always like to like go eat like local like delicacies. That's like my thing. So
Mm.
before before like when I used to do more content stuff, I don't really push out that much content anymore. But I used to like go out and like show people like all the stuff I'm eating on the road.
Do you like going back to the producer before becoming a DJ? What's the process like of that? Like, how long before you're like, oh, I think I should start doing this now, like, or actually putting my own name out there in my own music?
So I was the opposite, bro. I was already like a touring DJ
Okay.
before I was a producer. So I was like already
Okay.
like out here out in Asia, touring as an open format DJ. That's kind of how I got my name like started, I guess. This was back in like
Okay.
2010. So I've been touring Asia a long time. I was DJing in college like
Wow.
years before that. Yeah, years before that. So this is like my 18th year, dog, DJing. So it's been
Shoot, you've been in
almost
the
two
game for a
decades.
while.
Which is kind of crazy, right? But I think
Wow, two
when
get that.
I think yeah, 2 decades, crazy, right? But basically around like 2016, there was like a shift, right? And you couldn't really become an artist without having your own music out, right? Which is
Mm.
what became like what I guess like the festival culture blew up. What DJ culture became the past decade has been like the rise of like superstar DJs, right? Back when I started, like you got guys I looked up to were like DJ AM, right? A track, like actual
Uh,
turntablists, like that was like that era I grew up in. So like for
okay.
me, like I never really cared about making my own music, but I think I hit like on a kind of like a roadblock, like a plateau, I guess, where
Hmm.
you really had to level up and make your own music in order to really become respected as an artist. No matter how good of a DJ you were, like if you didn't have tracks out, people just wouldn't take you serious. You know what I'm saying? And you wouldn't get
Mm.
gigs. So I was like, all right, fuck it, like I got to do this. And honestly, man, like I just started making like bootlegs and remixes. That's how I kind of got my name out there, right? Like because that was like the easiest way for me to learn. Because dude, music production is just another level. Like it's a you can be the illest DJ, but you couldn't you wouldn't be able to make a beat. Honestly, I know a lot of
Mm.
people like that, right? And I'm not hating
Really?
on that. It's just
Yeah.
two different. It's just two different things.
Mm.
Rarely do I meet someone that's really good at DJing, really good at producing. Like both, right? So
Yeah.
I wanted to learn like kind of the way that I could learn it, whereas like I wanted to make tracks that I as a DJ would play. Does that make sense? To get
Hmm.
to get supported from other DJs. So I started like making like a couple of like bangers and stuff, which actually ended up hitting like right away, which I was very
It
surprised
has to
with.
be a good. Has to be a good feeling.
Yeah. So the first track I made was this hard trap like remix. Still gets played till this day, actually, right? So that one, "Say My Name," for example, like always supports. And like yeah, I actually put out my story last week, but that one was a banger. And then I think when I started getting recognition was when I moved into this genre called Jersey Club. And like RIP Takeoff, by the way, my first like viral like
Oh
Jersey Club
man.
track was a Migos track actually, it's the Slippery remix that I made with my boy
Mhm.
Stevie G. And I made it with like he's a fucking Jersey Club legend. So him and I like got together and made that track, instant hit, like still plays on BBC, like
Wow.
Sirius XM and shit. So, but anyway, I rode that Jersey Club wave for a minute. Then I'd say about a year or two in, yeah, almost 2 years in, I started like getting like my original signed to like labels. So it was a I'd say it was a solid like 2 years of learning, and then I
Okay.
kind of got progressively got better as I started collabing with people. And I think the key to making music is you just gotta work with other people, bro. Like you learn from other producers.
Yeah, that's what my favorite part about the music industry too. Like how many different creative minds there's, and for how many genres there is of just
Yeah.
like constant. Just what are some of Kaku's rejected DJ names before, or did you ever have
Oh
any?
man. So what's fucking funny is this is not actually public knowledge. You might be the first one to ask me this on an interview,
Okay.
but so Kaku is actually my last name, right?
Okay.
But I
Yes.
had a DJ name before, so it was called Swisher Sweet. like like the rolling
Damn, the
papers.
Swisher
Yeah,
Sweets. Yeah.
yeah. I'm serious. Like that's literally like what um my DJ name was in college, and then when I came out here, bro, like no one's gonna fucking remember that name. You know what I'm saying? So,
Sweet,
so and
yeah.
everyone's called me Kaku my whole life. Like, no one even calls me by my first name. Like, my first name's actually
Okay.
Jonathan, like John, right? No one's
Okay.
called me that ever. Like, maybe my parents, but like everyone's called me Kaku my whole life. So I was like, yo, like, let's not overcomplicate this. I'm just gonna just be Kaku, right?
I mean,
And then,
it's nice.
yeah,
It's short and simple, and it's like it's effective.
it's easy to remember. Like, no
Yeah.
one's gonna forget that, and it's not really like a common last name in general. So I was like, all right, like, let's just ride with it. So it's I've been Kaku ever since I landed in Asia. Like, yeah, as a DJ.
I mean, Swisher Sweet would be a whole different DJ, and like,
Bro,
I don't even know if you put a song.
I don't want to get into that shit right now because obviously I'm in Asia, but yeah, it would have definitely attracted a different crowd of audience for sure. You know what I'm saying?
How did you get to Asia? Like you're like to Taiwan and all, like moving from the States.
Yeah. So I actually was born in Tokyo, right? And then I was raised there until I was like 9, and then I moved with my family over to like the Bay Area, so like kind of like
Okay.
East Bay, like near Oakland, right?
Okay.
But my dad is Taiwanese, my mom is Japanese. So
Okay.
after college, like this is like during like the big financial crash, like this is like 08, 09, right?
Oh.
So after I graduated, like from university, like bro, there was no work at all. There was no jobs, like no work out there, like, and it was really rough, right? And I was like, bro, I applied for a job, like at even like I don't remember where it was, but like some skate shop. I couldn't even get a job even with a college degree. Like
wow.
That's how bad it was out there, right? In the Bay, especially.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like my dad's in Taiwan. Like I've always wanted to like I've always visited like my whole life, but I just wanted to like live there and get my my Mandarin Chinese at that time wasn't very good. So I was like, you know what? Okay, like maybe take a few years off like of America, like go over there, learn Chinese, like, live in a different country, whatever, But I ended up like really just falling in love with Taipei. And what made me stay though was, again, like never said this before, but straight up, when I first came to the club scene in Taiwan, the music was so trash, right? Like, and I've only been DJing for years and years. And I was like, bro, like if this is the scene out here, like I can probably like make it as a DJ. So I always had a day job, right? But on the weekends, like I would DJ. So I tried out for like the #1 club at that time in Taipei, got the job instantly. So I was like literally like DJing like right away. You know what I mean? And
That's
then
cool.
I would say about like a couple months after that, I was really like known for making mixtapes at that time. So I didn't produce. I just like do like live DJing, like make mixtapes and just like put it on SoundCloud or whatever. And those started like kind of hitting. And I started getting gigs like offers like outside of the country like right away. And rest is history, bro. Like by 2011, I was like touring like consistently. It's crazy. Yeah. So it just happened really fast.
What are your at the time? Do your parents too? How do they feel about like this career of being like a DJ and stuff? Like, do they get it, or like they don't get it, but like hell yes, and you just do it?
Okay, so it's very complicated. Long story short, like they've come to at least recognize that I am doing something, right? Like I'm not like like a scrub DJ or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they still would prefer that I live like a normal life, right?
Yeah.
My dad's like a businessman. Like he just doesn't think like like it's sustainable, I guess. But I'm just like, yo, man, like I'm not really doing this for the money per se or the fame. I do this because I love music and I can't see myself doing anything like besides it, right? Like dead ass, bro. Like I've had a day job like through maybe half of my career, like while I've been in Asia, and like I had some really great jobs. Like not a lot of people know this too, but I was the brand like ambassador / like director for Tinder. Like I brought Tinder to Taiwan. Yeah, so I launched that app here basically, like with them.
Man, you're just starting all this stuff in Taiwan.
Kind of, man. Like obviously because I'm fluent in English as well, and I understand like the tech side of things because I graduated with a marketing degree, so like I kind of understand how to push brands, I guess. So that's kind of like how I was recruited by them, and I actually interviewed like a regular process like over like 300-400 people apply for this job, and I got it, right? So
Wow.
So anyway, like regardless, like I just basically like always had a day job, but I just felt like I just would never ever like fully apply myself in those jobs. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah.
ended up being I would always be doing music on the side. I would always, you know, be more passionate about touring and just playing music. So I was like, dude, like I gotta like really decide whether or not I need to go fully into music or just like half-ass my other job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and was
And
that a scary time too?
oh,
To
bro,
switch like
that was
that?
oh yeah, and it was a really hard conversation to even have with my family. I'm like, yo, you
Yeah.
know, I'm deciding on doing this like full time. Like I never even worked for my family. I've always like, you know, counted on myself really, you know, and there were some rough years, bro. Like I mean, past 3 years, especially with COVID, like it was rough, you know, and there was moments where I was just like, fuck, like you know, maybe I didn't make the right choice, right? But regardless, man, like luckily, like I just I would always snap out of it real quick and be like, nah, this is what I'm born to do, you know. So
I mean,
yeah.
well, like before, speaking of San too, like with COVID, did you always like you threw Twitch parties for San and all that, but did you do a lot of it over like the pandemic, and is that, or did you do Twitch sets before that?
You're talking about like streams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the whole history behind the streaming is once like, you know, obviously touring was not available anymore. Like I just had to figure out a way to still be able to interact with my fans and like entertain, right?
Yeah.
I was very blessed that like I lived in Taiwan where we didn't really have like a full lockdown or I don't know if you remember, but all of 2020, halfway through 2021, like, you know, Taiwan was one of the only countries where you could still do live shows, right? So I was really blessed to be in the country at that time. So I mean, I played a festival during the fucking COVID, like, you know, peak of COVID.
Wow.
I was still touring all over Taiwan. Like it was all good until about midway last year, right? So,
Wow.
but regardless of what, you know, was, you know, Taiwan's situation or not, I just wanted to stream because I was like, you know, starting to pop off, right? And I had a studio where I could do it. So I started like slow and eventually got sponsored by Twitch in Taiwan, and you know, just kind of like did it organically. The reason I somehow tied this in with the whole NFT movement was I was already a sponsored streamer, and right around like when I started really getting interested in Web3, like OnlyForce came around, right?
Okay.
And OnlyForce was like, I would say the first project. I was already in NFTs building Song before that, but OnlyForce was the first like project where I like was really fully involved in the community, right? And it was because you know Brian, I'm Complex, and I like, you know, we reconnected like that same year, like last year, and he was telling me about this OnlyForce project, and I was like, okay, like let me like understand like what the hype is about these PFP projects. Because right before that, it was like BAYC was blowing up, right? So I was like starting to like kind of research and getting interested, and I already like I could have gotten into BAYC, bro. Like I'm being honest, but I didn't understand and I didn't get it. So I was like, fuck. Yeah, I was like, fuck, I'm not gonna miss that train again. So OnlyForce, it kind of speaks to me more than BAYC anyway, right? So I hopped into the community, like in the server, just like anybody else, man. And I just started chatting with people, getting to know everyone, and just fell in love with the project, bro. And right around when Mint was about to happen, I was like, yo guys, like I have this like show on Twitch. Would love to have you guys like come over, like, you know, I just jam out. We could like just hang out there. And yeah, so it just happened really organically when like the whole like OnlyForce community at that time kind of hopped in, and OnlyForce just like reached out to me like the next day. They're like, yo, could we just do this as like an actual show, like for the Mint party and like reveal? I was like, dude, say less.
That's badass.
Yeah. So then that's kind of how it happened. And I think like nobody else was doing something like that at that time. So it just kind of went, you know, a little viral, at least in the NFT community. Right. And I think I became known for that now. So I obviously have stopped it for a while last year because I was, you know, traveling throughout the States and stuff, but I wanted to bring it back always, like with Song. Right. And I think the iconic thing that we do, not just for Soundbite, we started with this OnlyForce was Cro-Magnus, like, you know, illustrating behind me on the green screen. Like
so
that,
cool.
That was an idea like him and I came up with, and I'm really glad that like that's like resonating even till this day, right? But last year when we first did it, dude, that shit was iconic. Like people were like, "Wow, this is like streaming on another level." You know, like two artists, different, you know, music, art, like all in one show. right? It's something that is very Web3. It's very like, you know, our vibes that we were able to create, you know, like, so, and I don't think anyone's ever been able to really like do it since. Like, you know, I've never seen any DJ and like an artist do it.
That.
Yeah, I think we're the only ones, so, which is kind of cool, you know.
What's how do you keep that energy too of like in like on streaming? Because like with DJing, I feel like, you know, you get the energy from the people, but like you're only seeing through the chat. Like how do you like keep your energy up and all that? Or you just like you
Dude, let me tell you, when I first fucking did that shit, it was the most awkward thing. Like,
I just feel like
it was the first couple shows. Oh man, if I could like show you, man, it was awkward, bro. Like, cause like you're literally talking to people like, you know, through like a chat, right? And you're still trying to engage with a mic.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, it felt awkward because there wasn't that many people watching, right? So,
yeah, that's true too.
So for me, like, I had to get used to still being able to like entertaining, still being able to like, you know, I guess like engage with the people watching, but I had to like figure out a different way. Whereas like, you know, when I'm doing live shows, I'm not talking consistently, but on a stream, you have to talk to people consistently at the same time DJ. So I'm to be honest, I'm really appreciative of it because it gave me another set of skills, right? Which I didn't have before. So I'm like super comfortable on camera now, where I used to not like not be as much. Yeah, I used to not like ask anyone. Like my management like hates it. That I just hate to be on camera. Like I just don't like it. It's just like, you know, it's just not really my vibes. But again, like when you're in this entertainment like business, you got to do it, right? But again, I think the stream stuff really helped me a lot in that perspective. Yeah.
Have you already done a set where you've streamed your actual live sets in like a club or anything like that? So like say the cameras.
Okay. I've done a few for like Insomniac and like my boys at in LA Space Yacht.
Okay.
There are some live sets up on my YouTube as well where I did for like, you know, back last year, you remember, in 2020 there was a lot of those like Insomniac like festival sets and shit. So I've done a few of those. So I mean, you can check it out on YouTube. Yeah.
No, that's just a cool. Yeah, I like the new way of like just making your own lane of just doing that with the Twitch and all. Bro, like it's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's a changing of the times, man. You know, and like, you know, and I think like Web3 attracted me also because of the metaverse. Because I obviously see like, and obviously you probably agree too, that the Web3 and you know, the metaverse is the future. Like I feel more and more we're going in that direction, and I think live streaming was kind of like the first step into really entering the metaverse per se, right?
I guess. Oh, going back with like both of our parents too, like of just the future, like how has your family or friends that are not into Web3, like what do they think of Web3? Or like when you talk to them about like, hey, I'm in this NFT like business and all.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so imagine this. Having a son that's already disappointed you by becoming a DJ, and they're like, now what are you doing? You're selling JPEGs for a living?
Oh yeah, that's true.
So coming from a traditional Asian family, that probably like, you know, like disappointed them twice in my life already. You know? but jokes aside, you know, they see more of like what I do now with Son. It's not just like another, you know, regular project, right? Like we had like almost 2 years of development to even get to this level. Like I pretty much had to like go to America and like handpick like, you know, the rest of the team basically, you know. So this was a, you know, a lot of time and a lot of effort, just not by me, myself, like, you know, from my whole team. Like everyone added something to Son to become what it is today. And you guys haven't seen anything yet. I'm being very honest with you. You know, like you guys this is just like, you know, kind of like the closing of like I would say the first like round of what we're just like introducing, right? But there's so much more ahead. Like that's all I can say. You know, I don't want to like obviously like hype it up too much, but that's all I can say right now. You know.
No, shout out to my friend Crypto Dilly and Crypto Terran. Like they got
Legends.
me to Son. They got me to Son. They're like, you guys gotta. I mean, like you gotta check this out. And so I get in the Discord, and then suddenly just like it's all history from there. But like just like anywhere from the rugs, like my favorite part, like the actual reveal. Like it's just been such a fun time.
Yeah, we just wanted them to do something different, bro. Like I was getting so tired of just seeing all these like projects that's like putting in like low effort and not really doing something different. You know, I mean, obviously, like, you know, things could have been better, I guess, for our job, but like who does anything perfect? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day. And like I would rather entertain our core like, holders and make sure you guys have a good time. And I know though, I know that our community is just gonna keep growing, right? And I know
Yeah.
like right now there's a little bit of a slowdown, but there's a reason for that. We're preparing for something like bigger. And we think like right now, there's no need to rush. Like we have a great brand, we have a great team, we have a great community, and we're just gonna, just like go at our own pace.
Yeah. Shout out to the whole team too. And that what like coffee converter when he did the 1.3 puzzle, that was just.
Dude, let me tell you, man, Coffee is one of the most talented devs I have ever like met in the the past like few years I've been in Web3. Like the dude is a fucking genius. Like I'm serious.
Yeah, and he's so chill about it too. It seems like he's just like
yeah. Like majority of our team members are extremely humble, but again, like we have a team of killers. And so it's almost like we hype each other up because everyone's so incredible.
Yeah,
but no one will ever come out and be like, "Oh, I'm the shit." Like it's none of our team members are like that. Which is really like really refreshing because I'm in an industry full of fucking assholes. Honestly, I don't want to beat around the bush, but it's just a lot of egos, and I just like sometimes can't stand it. And so this is why, like I think the beauty of San is we're trying to disrupt the music industry and how things are like going right now. I'm tired of it, and I think there's a lot that we want to change with the project for sure.
Man, when you're saying like how you selected the team and stuff, I felt like if you're like a general manager for a basketball team or something, you got to pick all that talent.
I can't take all the credit. Big shout out to Garrick. Garrick, he was instrumental in getting some of the real Web3 like big shots to join our project. Like I was in charge of like getting all the creatives together and some of the some of the team members, but Garrick definitely helped a lot in getting a lot of like Devin or Will, like Flu, like all these guys like Catalina, onto the project. And they've been so instrumental to the project. Like straight up, I could not do this on my own.
I have a couple of questions from my friend. Shout out Boone. He's a DJ himself locally here, and I just asked him if he had any questions, and let me see what you think about these. Do you use the sync button when you DJ?
So I usually don't, because personally, I think the sync does take the fun out of DJing. Like I said, like I was like in the era where like you didn't even have a sync button. So, but again, I don't hate on people for using the sync button. Like sometimes in emergency cases, I use it too. Like, why is a tool made like if you're not going to use it, right? That's just what I think. So I think it's for me, like it's your preference. Like if you dead ass, don't really want to, don't really care about DJing, you just want to give a good show and sync button helps your show, then so be it. But for me, I enjoy DJing. I have fun DJing. So for me, using the sync button all the time just takes the fun out of it. But yeah, in emergency cases, I'm like literally doing so many things at once. Yeah, I just like a little click it real quick. Like, why not? There's nothing wrong with that,
So is the sync button basically like a quick little like lip singing in a way?
But listen, this sync button stuff is not that accurate. So people think you just press that button, it's just going to sync everything. Like, you got to know, DJing, there's BPMs, right? So if you're going from like different BPMs, it's not going to sound good. So this whole theory of just using a sync button, and if you're like not doing a genre like where it's just like literally like 1 BPM basically, right? It's not going to sound like mashed up well. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just kind of depends. Like, I think like more, sync buttons used more, in my opinion, by like maybe house DJs or like, big room DJs, because it, consistently stays around like 125 to 130 or something. You know what I mean? Then then it makes sense, I guess. But like for me, like you've seen me DJ, I go all over the place. So it's like impossible for me to just use like a sync button. Like, you know what I mean?
What do you say to the people that be like, DJs only hit one button, that's it? That's what they do.
Watch me on Twitch.
There you go.
Or come watch my shows. Like, come watch me.
What's your DAW?
What?
Your DA? What's your DAW?
My DAW. Yeah. I've always been an Ableton guy from the beginning. Yeah,
Ableton.
I like, there's other people out there probably like pushing FL. Like, no hate on them, but like I just think Ableton is the best DAW for sure. Like I think it's the most like interactive. It's the best.
And for the people that
are the best.
Oh, for the people that don't know DJing, what is DAW?
Oh man, dude, you're putting me on the spot, man. Like,
I'm sorry.
what is that? I'm gonna Google this right now.
We'll put this in later. Well, when my friend asked me this, I'm like, DAW, what the? And then I thought he was joking around with you because I'm like, what is DAW?
It's digital audio workstation. My God,
All
man.
right,
Like,
all right.
yeah, but honestly,
hey.
everyone's just been calling it the DAW. So like, I just don't really like. I don't have to really think about it, you know.
No,
Yeah.
I get it. What's your? I guess this is you don't have to answer this completely, or like you could like a different answer. But it says like, what is your least favorite EDM genre?
Man.
And not to like
genre,
shit on the
bro.
genre, I guess. Be like, I guess what's one that you don't mess with the most? I guess
I don't play big room at all, really.
big room. Okay.
Yeah, I think okay. So I have to say this. So I think back when big room music was first like popping off, right? So when I say big room, it's like Hardwell, like like Nicky Romero, like those guys, right?
Okay.
The Dutch big room movement. I mean, back in 2011, 2012, bro, I was playing that shit, and like that's because it was the hottest genre at that time, right? But I think like for me, like I never really enjoyed it that much. It was just because I was a touring DJ, so I had to play whatever was hot, right? Does it make sense? So I'm talking like Martin Garrix, all that shit. But it got to a point where when I started really becoming an artist, making my own music, I wasn't making big room, so it just wouldn't make sense for me to play that music. Like there's still like every now and then I hear like a big room track like that I think is fire, So like I'm not hating on that genre per se, but I play that genre the least because I just think that sound hasn't really like progressed. Does that make sense? Like with house music, it's really progressed the past 2 decades. Like I mean, house music is so hot right now, but there's a variety of house music, right? But with big room, I just feel like it's just big room, like Dutch big room sound. It hasn't really progressed, in my opinion. Like some of these big room Dutch DJs are going techno now, like main stage techno stuff. Like I think that shit's fire. Like I mean, I'd play some of those, So
those are
I can't really knock on like a certain genre. Like it's just for me. If the song sounds good, the song sounds good. Like it's not really like a genre specific thing for me. Because I'm like a DJ that plays all genres, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Do you have like a on the opposite of that? Do you have like a favorite?
That's also a hard question for me to ask too, because I'm just such a faceted DJ. Like I just love all genres. Like so I try to fit in as many genres in my sets as possible. So for me, if it sounds good, it sounds good, bro. Like there's not really like a specific genre that I like. I mean, if you ask me if I'm just like chilling, what I like to listen to, I like to listen to lo-fi. I like to listen to stuff that I don't play, like lo-fi. I listen to hip hop, like, stuff that I genuinely don't get to play is what I actually listen to on my off time,
Shout out to all the people that watch that YouTube channel with the cat and like the girl.
Yeah. That one's on my favorites for sure, man.
Oh, that one's a classic.
I love that one. Yeah.
What's Kaku's like most weirdest place he's ever done a set, or like the most like where he's like, where the hell am I?
Man, bro, that's a hard man. I've been so many places, dude. Like in my career.
I can't.
Weirdest place.
Do you remember your first set?
I don't know, bro. Like I've thoroughly enjoyed almost every single place I've played at. Like I've never had like
that's good to say. That's good to say.
I felt like being able to already like travel to do what I love is already such a blessing. And so for me, like I appreciate like every place I go to, like, and I try to get to know the people, and try to like kind of understand the culture. Like I that's what I really enjoy doing about when I tour. Like I really like to really understand like what goes down, like in the place that I play music in, like get to know the people. I think it's something that not a lot of people get to do, right, on a consistent basis. So I don't take it for granted,
Yeah. Do you remember your first set ever?
Like international set or like my first set?
Your first set when you're just like, oh shoot, I'm getting on stage.
Oh, you're talking about professionally, right? Because I started out from carrying my own like equipment from house to house without so cool. being able to afford like my like a setup,
Oh, that's so badass.
But deadass, I used to play off of like my laptop and just like try to transition onto iTunes. Like that's how I started, man.
Oh,
so
wow.
I couldn't even buy equipment, like I didn't have money.
Wow.
So I started out from that. Like this is back in like 2005, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
So, but yeah, I guess if professionally, I'd say, uh, man, there's just so many shows I've done. But
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
the first international show I ever did was in Singapore. It was for F1's like pre-party for like Johnny Walker.
Okay.
First time I was on a big stage ever, so I was like, oh my god, there's a lot of people.
Like,
Um,
yeah.
but like obviously, like I was like a new DJ at that time, so like no one knew who the hell I was. I just like was so focused on making sure I didn't fuck up.
Yeah.
I was like, and I tell you, every DJ will tell you this. First time, like you get on like a stage, like a big stage, everyone has a little bit of stage fright because
Okay.
you're performing for so many people, and like I've been DJing for so long before then, like years and years, but I still got stage fright. And the stage
Yeah.
fright thing, like believe it or not, didn't go away for a few years. Like I was like
Oh,
always a
wow.
little nervous, like, and I think like I started getting more comfortable. Like I'd say, maybe like 3 or 4 years after I started like performing, like when I was like really
Wow.
comfortable, really comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, I mean, I can't imagine like it's just like different too, like even like with stand-up comedy or like different type of stuff like that, like DJing too, or like you have to like make the crowd like feel comfortable and
Mhm.
like upbeat the whole time. So like I feel like it's just a crazy
But you know the thing
thing.
is the crowd is going to be able to tell whether you're comfortable or not. And I think that's where like I was like
Okay.
I had to start getting more comfortable. And I think the moment I was able to start, so my biggest thing that like was halting kind of like my growth as an artist
Hmm.
was like in Asia especially, you had to mic, right? Whereas
Hmm.
I just wanted to play music, right? And I think like I had to start becoming an entertainer, so I engage with the crowd like a lot now when I like play. I just try to like casually just talk to them sometimes, or like yeah, it's just like I think that's where I have to get used to because unfortunately in Asia, like in certain aspects, it's a little behind. People are not going clubbing or going to festivals for the
Ah,
music; they're going for the you
just
know
a social life and just
right,
drinking.
right. So
Interesting.
so when you don't engage on the mic, they get bored. Does that make sense? And so
Mm-hmm.
for me, like there was a moment in Asia where like you literally would not get booked unless you mic, which I don't think is the right way, right? It's not really
Hmm.
like what we're meant to do. But
Yeah.
I did see it from like a entertainment perspective. So I was like, okay, fuck it, I gotta learn how to do it. And yeah, like now I'm comfortable on the mic, and like I think like that does make you more confident, right? You have to be.
Yeah.
You have to get more confident doing that,
Yeah.
right? So it's just like natural. Like I think like my career in general, bro, like everything happened very naturally, like organically. Like I had to learn like a lot of things the hard way, and I had to learn things like kind of like on the fly, And I think like that's why I'm being able to sustain my career for so long because as you get older, as a DJ, sometimes like you become a fucking old timer and you can't like move a lot, move with the times. And I'm very like lucky that I was able to like kind of like always understand trends and understand like music, like even beyond some of the obviously the new kids that are coming on the block. You know,
Ah.
yeah.
Well, what would Kaku now tell your 2005-year-old self today or back then? Be like, look, what would you
Man,
tell him?
what would I tell him?
Yeah.
You should have learned how to produce back in 2005. That's what I would tell him.
Okay. Okay.
Definitely.
What's this is a good question because I always wonder like because you don't want to be rude, but like so like the smaller venues, right, or the more intimate or personal ones where people can come up to you and like ask you like request a song and stuff. Like how does that work?
So
Be
I'm
like, dude,
nicer than no. Listen, man, I'm nicer than a lot of DJs. I
yeah,
just usually just go like this, and I don't fucking play.
okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, you want that bunny? Okay. It's coming up
Uh,
next, and I don't play.
I love the two
But,
thumbs
but
up.
but
Emoji,
but but
yeah.
but but luckily, like I don't play those kind of venues that much anymore.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
again, bro, like look, I'm out there to please people. If there is a fire Bad Bunny, like a remix or something,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
play it, dude. Like I'm cool with it. But yeah, some DJs take hella offense to it. But again, I understand where they're coming from. Like some of these, like resident DJs or something, like they're getting fucking the same requests on a day-to-day basis. It gets
Oh,
annoying as shit,
yeah. I kind
And
of.
you gotta respect the artistry, right? But
Mhm.
I get it, like, and some people are out there, they want to hear the song, like they're trying to have a night out. Like I get that perspective too. So most of the times, it's like if someone's very, very like respectful,
Mhm.
and if I have it, yeah, why not? If it fits my set, I'll play it. If not, then I'll be like, yo, sorry. I'm pretty honest about it. But yeah, but most of the times, if I am being bothered, I'll just give them a thumbs up and just be like, go along with my set.
I love that. I just love the thumbs up. What was your first, or what would you be doing? Like, what was your first job ever before everything?
Man, my first job ever. Bro, you're asking me hard questions right now.
I know.
I usually don't get asked this. No.
I'll tell you
Tell me
mine
what your
real quick.
first job was.
I shout out to Idaho Pizza Company. I was a pizza boy, and it's ranked the best, one of the best pizzas in Idaho. So I started that when I was 17, and it was nice because it was only 5 minutes from my house. So if I was late, I could just go straight to the job without being in trouble and stuff.
So I'm kind of practical like that too. My first job was actually at the university bookstore. Because I actually, so another thing you don't know about me, I went to military school for high school.
Oh,
So I
wow.
went to all boys West Point preparatory like military school in California.
Oh,
I graduated
damn.
number one. I graduated number one in my class actually.
Damn.
So I was like the highest ranking cadet there.
Heck
I was
yeah.
supposed to go to West Point. I was supposed to have like a military career. Decided
Wow.
last minute that wasn't my thing. So I decided to go to like a university just to like was gonna be a dentist actually. I got into like one of the best like pre-dent schools. Fucking hated every minute of it. I was like, yo, this is not my vibe. So just decided to go business. And
Okay.
first job was actually working at the bookstore because I got mad discounts on books. You know how expensive books are, right?
Oh,
Like, so
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I was being hella practical. Yeah, that was the first job I had.
Those damn commercials where you're like, trade in your books, and you get all these. I was like, I can't. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't wait for this.
So you know what's funny is like I used to just like flip the books and shit. So maybe this is why I love NFTs. I was flipping books.
Maybe you're
flipping books in college.
I love the idea of flipping books. That's so cool. I mean, man, I mean, I think 3 months ago I had like I need to get a root canal, but I don't have.
Ooh,
I never go.
rough.
Kaku, I'm really bad at like I'm procrastinating my health. I guess like I take a little bit too long, and I should just go right now. So, but like dentists, some of the dentists, like the scariest things when you hear that the burning tools out in the other office. It's like one of the most scariest things ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But like,
yeah.
I mean,
I don't
like,
like the dentist. So
how long? How set were you on being a dentist? Do you think, or was that just like a flash?
listen, bro. You know, it's called being a product of having Asian parents. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they wanted me to do have a stable job. You know,
Yeah,
And I was like,
no.
okay, well, fine, why not? You know, try to be a good son. Hated every single minute of my first semester. I was like, yo, this is not me.
No, I totally feel that too. Like, or like going out of college. I mean, going out of high school, and then my parents are like, "Hey, we have your college money ready." And I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for college yet. Because I just made it through high school barely and stuff.
Right.
I mean,
right.
but like, but I guess what's your opinion too? Like other generations of growing up. Like, I mean, college is still great, but like even with like Web3 and all that, like there's still opportunity. I feel like there's a lot more opportunities out there instead of just having to have college like to back you
Yeah,
up.
bro. You know, can I be honest with you? Like what I
Yeah.
learned from college, like I definitely still apply it, but
Yeah.
I learned more from life than college. You know, I could have probably gone back and gotten an MBA and stuff, but I just knew that like that path was not for me. Like I'm a musician. Like I'm a creator.
Mhm.
You know, I'm a creative, and for me, like it just seemed like a waste of time for me at least, right? And I think like I mean those guys that go for MBAs, they're trying to widen their network, or they're trying to go for like high corporate positions. Like it just wasn't me. And I think my theory is this: like I think education is important, but if your work doesn't really like need that certain skill set that you need from your degree, then I don't know. It's I don't know, man. I think it's day and age. Like there's so much information out there. I mean, I know a lot of people
Yeah.
that didn't go to college that's very very successful. So I think
Yeah,
it's more
yeah.
like you have to hone your skill set nowadays. So what are you good at, right? Like is it being a creative? Is it really being like management or something? Like I don't know. So I think it just depends on your career path and what you're
Mm.
passionate about. I think passion is what drives success nowadays, right?
Yeah.
I think like
I agree with that.
parenting has definitely changed a lot over the past like a few decades, and I think more parents are like accepting than before. Not speaking on Asian parents though, okay, but I'm saying like some parents I see, I guess, like out there,
Yeah.
they're more accepting, and I think like I think it's more about knowing what you want, man. I think that's more important now. Like, what do you want? I feel like if I meet somebody that's really passionate about like a subject and they're really fucking great at what they do, and they don't need to go to college, and I don't see why not. You know?
Yeah. Do you have any
You know what I'm
kids
saying?
right now? Do you have any kids?
No.
No.
We
Okay.
just bought a puppy though recently. He's
I
super
do.
cute.
I saw that for puppy you just bought. What kind of dog is it again?
Hennessy. It's a
Hennessy.
Cavalier Poodle.
Ah.
Yeah. Well, we love drinking Hennessy, so we're like, our first dog's got to be Hennessy. You know.
That's so awesome. I mean, I believe it was a Snapchat story from one of my friends, but it was a Chinese Shar Pei, and I don't know why.
Those are wild.
I don't know why I fell in love with those wrinkles. Like they look like kind of like my ball sack a little bit.
Dude, straight up, those dogs are mad expensive in China. I think it's like stupid expensive. Like you can buy one for like $1 million kind of thing. If it's like
what
from a
Whoa.
breeder, yeah, straight up.
Oh,
I might be
geez.
wrong though. I might be wrong because it might be another dog I'm thinking about, but they look like them. Yeah, I think I'm wrong, but it's okay.
It's
but
funny
I know which dog you're talking about.
It's funny how like some of the crazier dogs, like the looks, they're just so up. But like, do I really want to pay for that sucker? Because like some of them are just like so small. It's like the weirdest. Only a mother could love those that face.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was wrong. The one in China that's over millions is a Tibetan Mastiff. I was wrong.
Oh, is that a big ass dog then?
Yeah, it's a big ass dog. Yeah. But I know the Chinese Shar Peis. I know which one you're talking about. They're like the super wrinkled dogs, right?
Yeah. They're so funny. Like,
Yo, hear me out there.
Yeah.
Imagine those as PFPs.
Oh God. like, what would the name of it be?
I don't know.
Wrinklies.
Oh, Wrinklies. That's fire.
That'd be on the next set. Just a whole banner of a Chinese
Wrinklies. I like that. Hey man, there you go. I just gave you a project idea.
I know. Well, like talking about Web3 too is just like it's crazy. Or like with a little bit back to the college part too. It's like it's nuts to like I have my own show and like I didn't have to talk to anyone or like do anything. Like I just made it, and like even talking to you, like it's crazy to like back then. I feel like it's rare. Like I couldn't just go up to one of like the co-founders of a company and talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, but this gives us so much more. Like, just open so many doors just to try to talk to people.
Dude, definitely. You know, I think like we live in the information age, right? And I think like now communication is so easy, and I think like people want transparency, right? And people want to know more about you more than ever, right? So I think like let's just talk about NFTs right now. Right.
Yeah.
And crypto. Like the vibes last year is so different than this year. Like last year, people still wanted to like keep anonymous and stuff. This year, they're like, "Yo, we want fully docs projects." Like,
there's so many. Yeah.
So I think like that whole like narrative is changing. But like look, there's like a good and bad in this too, right? Like I mean, like like for example, like this year, there's been so many rappers that got gunned down, right? Like, and that's because people are following their fucking stories and trying to like rob them and shit. So in that sense, it's scary, right? So there's like no privacy anymore, right? So I can see why people want to be anonymous and stuff, but I also see the reasons for not wanting to be anonymous is because like let's say you're part of a NFTs and stuff, people want to know who these people who found these projects so they don't get fucking rugged. I get it, I understand that. So I think it's and also like you said, I think that one of the coolest things that happened like last year was like the rise of Clubhouse, right? Mm-hmm. And also like Twitter Spaces and stuff, where you were able to interact with like you said, like certain people that maybe before you wouldn't have access to.
It would be like a dream,
right. And I think that is kind of like the beauty that I see in the age that we live in of social media. But there is also two sides. There's always two sides of of the tail, I guess, right? So I always try to look at it as like, I like certain things about this, but I don't like certain things about that. So you can never live in a perfect world. So I just try to use the tools that's given to me. But I am a very private person. Like I don't want people like looking into my fucking private life all the time either. It's more like how you control like what people see is what you have to be aware of more now than ever. Right.
Man, you totally. Because I always wondered that too, of like even some of my friends, like, why would you want to hide your face and stuff? Because like it's like this being ignorant, but like I know you could just show yourself and stuff. But like the safety reasons too, like I never even thought of that too. Just like you never know. I always forget how wild people could be.
Dude, safety is honestly my biggest concern with social media. Like I actually I've been even more careful about it. That's also why I haven't been posting as much. Like I just like seen so much like fucking fucked up shit that's been happening this year. and it's like scary, you know, like I don't want people tracking me like at all times. So again, I do have to, you know, post about shows. Like I am, you know, still, this is my job.
Yeah.
So, but I don't try to show as much personal stuff as before.
Yeah.
You know?
The moral of the story, people that are listening to this or people that see this, just be good people, you know? No reason to go crazy. Just even ask for a handshake. You don't have to go crazy.
Yeah, bro. And like, dude, I don't even see myself as like a fucking famous person, right? Like, so like,
no, yeah.
like, it's like, I just like, I'm actually like, you know, really appreciative that people like really like love my music and, you know, they just like my sets or whatever, and what I'm building, but I'm always a normal dude. Like I'm never gonna change. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think, but again, speaking on others, you know, actually like big time celebrities, like I get it. Like, I mean, those guys probably like, you know, get harassed like on a day-to-day basis. It gets old, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you want to be nice to everyone, but some people are just not nice people, you know? So you
No,
gotta be very aware, you know? I get it. I totally get it. I've been in the industry a long time. Like, you know, some of these like big artists are my friends. Like I've seen it, like, you know, like, you know, like in real life, like what happens, you know?
Yeah. Well, like, I guess it makes sense too of like all the bigger Twitch, the gamers too. Like they some of them don't even show their face for the whole time. And I get it though. It's like, you just,
it's like a privacy thing.
Yeah. Like with, is it weird to like get more of a following stuff and people recognizing you? Like, does that ever change at all?
Yeah, well, till this day, I'm still like, yo, man, like it's kind of crazy that, you know, you want to take a picture of me and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm one of those guys. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's very, you know, I'm very grateful. You know, there's people out there that really like, you know, maybe even see me as like a role model. I have a lot of young like producer DJ like fans that just like, you know, I guess look up to me. So I mean, if anything, like I appreciate that more. You know, like because I consider them like my little brothers or sisters or whatever. Like those are the people that I want to inspire. You know. I don't do it for the fame, bro. Trust me. Like it's not what I'm in it for. Yeah.
Have you been able to inspire anyone in your own family or like cousins wise to like become like in the music industry?
No, not so much, man. I think my family just in general are like pretty traditional, like in terms of like work wise. But you know, I know they're proud of me. You know, like my siblings and stuff. But there are, you know, friends of friends' kids that definitely aspire to become DJs and producer because of me. So and I do try to help those kids a lot. You know, like I have a company out here called Basement. We cultivate like a lot of like young talent. So it's
that's
what I do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder like in 20 years from now, like how the culture might change of like even with like the Asian culture of like not going to college, or I wonder if it like in 20 years if it could change at all, like because of, you know, the new generation growing up and like their perspective of life and all that. I wonder if it won't have like that stigma of that, just like go to school and all that.
There's definitely going to be change, bro. I don't think not going to school is ever going to change. I think parents are always going to push you to go to school, right? Like you
want the best for your kid.
You gotta have basic skills, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like I'm pro school, obviously, but I think what's going to change. I see it already happening because like, you know, a lot of my, you know, friends my age, they all have kids already, but they're more accepting of like what their children wants to do. And I'm talking strictly on at least Asian parents right now. So I see that shift already happening. So I think that's a positive sign, right? Because I think like right now, let's think about it for entertainment perspective. Like there's been a boom of more entertainers and the, you know, Asian entertainers really coming into even the Hollywood scene, right?
Yeah.
But there should be way more. There's a lot of talented, you know, Asian artists out there. There's a lot of, you know, talented Asian DJs and producers even out there. But we're still underrepresented. But that's just because how, you know, media has portrayed us, like, you know, throughout the years. And again, like right now, there's a huge surge in Asian artists, like more than before. So I also think like that's also going to change throughout the next like couple decades. Because I also think that Hollywood and the music industry has figured out, oh shit, there's a lot of Asian fans out there. Maybe we should have more Asian faces on you know, and obviously the rise of K-pop has helped a lot.
Yeah.
So I think like you're gonna see a huge, I would say, spike in even more Asian artists coming through. I think that's what I think.
Put the stock in that. Actually, I just want to do one more question because I'm just curious. Like younger Kaku, when he got like a nice, decent, or like a paycheck, right? Did you ever make a funny like big purchase at all?
The first money I ever made, I actually sent it back to my mom.
Oh, hell
So
yeah.
yeah, because I'm all, you know, I am Asian in that sense, you know. But
Yeah.
first big purchase I made, bro, I don't even know. Like, I'm not
Or
really
like,
like I'm not really super materialistic like that. But what did I buy, man? Oh, I bought really nice speakers for the studio.
oh, there you go.
Yeah,
And look at, you're still reinvesting in your own thing. You just got bigger speakers.
I always do, bro. Look, if
Ah,
you want to be successful, you got to always reinvest in yourself. That's all I can
yeah.
really say. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you're in music. It's just for everyone. You know, you gotta invest in yourself to
I
really
mean,
like make it. I guess.
like LeBron, he puts in $1 million a year in his body, just
But
like
look at him. Look at Steph Curry, right? Like,
Steph Curry.
no, sorry, I'm a big Warriors fan,
Oh,
obviously,
hey,
but
let's talk about it real
but
quick.
but, but again, you know, like Steph definitely puts a lot of money into making sure that at his age, like he's around my age, are still like in top shape, and the dude gets better every year. It's insane, you know.
It's weird. You
So I
can't.
mean, if that doesn't show you proof that investing in yourself, reinvesting in yourself, is going to, you know, make you have more success in the future, then I don't know what else I could, what other examples I can give you, you know.
Well, man, Kaku, I appreciate you coming on the show, dude. Like, this means a lot to me. Like, even
No
like,
worries, bro.
I hit you up and you're just like, hell yeah, I'll support you. I'll do it. And I'm forever grateful for that,
I'm
man.
always down, and I'm glad that look. I love NFTs. I love it, but I'm glad that this one wasn't too much about the NFT stuff.
Hey, no,
I can talk. I know. You know what? I can talk about it all day because I'm so excited about Son. I love it, but
Yeah.
it's nice to refresher to have a different kind of interview. You know, because
Yeah.
I also hopped into this interview not really knowing what was going to be asked. But it's
No,
all good. Like I'm always willing to help the community and like helping. Like whatever you're trying to do. You know, like if you're trying to blow the show up or whatever, like go for it, man. You know, like I think it's great. I think it's great. Content is king nowadays. So
yeah, no.
do it.
Where can we follow you to? On Instagram.
At Cockaberry on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to follow my music, it's DJ Kaku on SoundCloud, and it's just Kaku on Spotify and Apple Music. So
Amazing, man. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
cool. Later, guys.